Okay, so I chose to create my LMS on Google Classroom. So if you have a Google account, you can just go to the waffle over here and you can scroll down and you'll see the option for Classroom. And when you click Classroom, um, if you don't already have one, you would just hit the plus sign right here and you'll create a class. And when you've created a class, one of the easiest, you fill out all of this, and one of the easiest ways for your students to join the class is by using your class code. So you can see right here, it gives you the class code, and then your students, when they go to their waffle and go down to Google Classroom, it gives them the option of joining. When you hit the plus sign, they can join the class using your class code. So that's pretty user friendly. So the class that I created was for my math class. And it was pretty easy. I'll show you my thinking on how to best organize, the things that I would typically have my kids do in class, but in a way where it was user friendly online. So here across the top, you have your stream, which shows things that you've posted, it kind of updates everybody. You have the people that are in your class, and you can see mine's empty right now. And then the grades, and nobody has any grades because I have nobody in my class right now. Classwork is where really everything gets organized that I found so far. And in my mind, the easiest way to organize it was just almost to have an ordered list of things that my students would do for each unit. So I actually chose one of the first units that I teach in 5th grade math, which is just how to read and write decimals. So I used some stuff that I already had made for that and kind of organized it. So, typically you'd have some kind of lesson. So I've added a lesson here. And to do that, I'll show you what I've added and then how I did it. So here is just it's a YouTube video, and it's one that I had made. And so my students can watch this video. So my students could watch this video, and if I want them to take the notes into their, and to put their notes in their composition book so they have some examples to look at when they're working. But this is just basically my instruction, what I would do in class, so this would work in class or if the kids are having to learn from home. So that was the first thing I put in my classwork, would be some kind of instruction, and I put word form notes, and there's a video. The next thing I would want my kids to do would be to have some kind of practice to show some understanding. So the second thing I put in my in unit 1 would be for them to have a flip grid, and so I just created a flip grid and then pasted the link here. And so for this one, the kids are just going to choose 3 different mixed numbers, and they are going to explain to the audience how they write those in standard form. And so then that kind of gives me an idea of, that they're understanding what they saw in the notes. And then I'd want them to practice that. So I just attached a worksheet practicing that specific skill. And I also went ahead and attached the answer key. So this will be kind of a self-check assignment for my students to do. After that, I would have some kind of checkup so I can check their progress. And it was really easy to insert a form. So I chose the quiz assignment, and I chose to do a form there. And then after I've checked, I was able to check, and I can just kind of monitor their progress, and they'll continue through. The next thing I would have them do standard form to word form notes, and maybe another flip grid, some kind of practice, and then another check. And I kind of followed that same template through the whole thing: expanded form, notes, some kind of flip grid. and then some practice, and then a checkup, and then I put the unit assessment at the very end. And so one thing I noticed, these don't always, you can reorder these, if it starts to get jumbled. So at the end, I just made sure I had these ordered in the progression that I wanted the students to follow. And I thought this is really a great way to organize, you know, your units, especially if we had to be all online and we don't have any other, platform within our districts to use this. I found it to be pretty easy to learn how to use. So just to show you how you add stuff. So right here, I've already created a unit 1, but there's nothing in it. But if I want to put some stuff in it, so let's say I want to start with some kind of video to introduce the topic. So, you put whatever you want your title to be. You can type a description. And then when you're adding, you can actually add from YouTube. So you might find a video on YouTube, and you can even just search. So let's see, our first unit is just powers of 10. So let me look at that, powers of 10. So maybe I know that there's a YouTube video I want to use, or maybe you have your own video here, and you would just, oh, there's a 5th grade one, so then you can just add that right in there. So that might be your instruction or your notes right there. So the process of adding it was pretty easy. And then over here on the right under topic, you can choose what module, what topic, what unit you want this video to be placed under. And so then I would just choose my unit 1 and I would post it. And then if you had a worksheet, you could go to assignment and you could add either from your Google Drive, or you could add a file from your computer here and do the same thing, picking the topic. And then you can also add the quiz, is where it will automatically help you make a Google form if you want it to be in a quiz format. So that was pretty good. And then if you just want to ask a question, this will go into like a collaborative thing where students can all respond to it. And then just extra material, it might be, links that you want to add for them to read or whatever. And then down here, if you want to create another topic. So if I want to have my unit 4, and I'll show you what happens, because when you add it, it goes directly to the top of your list. And then I'm going to take that and I'm going to drag it all the way down, so it'll be in the order that I want it to be in. And I would kind of use it like that through the year. So basically your whole curriculum is kind of laid out. And that's what I've found so far. So it's pretty user-friendly. You have your calendar here. You have a folder if you want to keep files in this folder for kids to be able to access. But I found, this, I thought for 5th graders was a very straightforward way to organize it, would just have it be in order of the things I would like them to do within the unit. So that is the overview of Google Classrooms.